anyhow, then I don't know what in the hell happened, but they said the Corps commander wants to say goodbye to us. So we got on the trucks and went to the Ottoman. And I don't know where we were. And here come like a Piper Cub in, lit on the Autobahn, and he brought us all in, told us to sit down. He said, I want to thank you boys. He said, you men. He said, you were boys. He said, you're men now. And he said, for doing a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. He said, the reason our beach went so well, we didn't have the problems on Utah that they had on Omaha, is he said that you support troops were right there with the infantry where you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he said that's the way it's been with all the time in this Corps. He said, you support troops, it's always been with the infantry. Now, he said, this I'll tell you. He said, I'm going to bid you goodbye. And he said, and think how fortunate it was I could have men like you. And he said, the next time I see you will be in the Pacific. And that was our orders about if we're going to the Pacific. And that was a jolt and a surprise. Man, so they cleaned up, and we was at Camp Lucky Strike at Reims, France, and they moved us there. And we didn't do nothing. Played horseshoe, softball, went to movies. Germans did all the work, German soldiers. And so while we were there, Gray Gorsuch, he lived at Wilmer, Minnesota. Winona, Minnesota. And he said one day, we're sitting around, and he said, what do you boys think about getting together after the war? And we all said it was a good idea because we were a close unit. Boy, I mean we were close. Asked my wife. And he said, why don't everybody you just sit down and write your name and your address on it, your home address, and he said, give it to me. And that's what we did. So then the old boys went out, like Mingle, Griffith, and some of those guys went out because they were older. Morgan, he had 5 kids or something like this. Griffith and Mingle, Pop Mingle, they were all guys in their late 30s, all, you know. And so in came our replacements. And that's all we did was clean up equipment. And like I said, play softball. We didn't do nothing until, boy, we were mad that we had to go to the Pacific.
I bet.
And so we got the new second lieutenant in. And so we had to go down to Marseille, France. And so we got on the train, and it was so damn slow. We could work our way to the front, get off, and go into southern France. God, the melons and the grapes, and we'd just pick a whole handful, catch the train again, and that's what we lived on. Well, then when we get to Marseille, France, they had like figs and muskmelons and all that came from Africa. They just poured that to us. So while we're at Marseille, France, and we're all ready to go with it on the general calendar. Don't ask me where. Now our equipment and the second lieutenant has already left. Our bulldozers, our 3/4 tons, our 2.5, that's all gone. Now I wonder what island went to, I don't know. But, so we went to Marseille, and while we were at Marseille, they dropped the first atomic bomb. And they said, the way it looks now, they said that we might be able to go home for 30 days. You get to go home for 30 days. Otherwise, we was going straight on through. And so we load up and we get on the General Callan, and we dropped the second bomb, and the war went over. And they called us and they said, you're going home, you're going to be discharged. Now that's how fast this happened. It was just boom, boom. In 2 weeks we were from going to the Pacific, we were going home, and the war was over.
Yeah.
Wow.